With reported record number of new members signing up to join the Conservative Party, leadership candidate Scott Aitchison is fighting to convince old and new members he is the right person to unify the party this fall and potentially lead the country in the next federal election. Scott Aitchison joins us in studio this morning. Good to have you, not there in the House of Commons, but actually here in the studio. Welcome.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Divisions within the party is, one of the contributing factors to the Conservatives losing the last federal election. And you've said the party must stop, and I quote you, stop screaming at the swing voters and find a way to hear their concerns. Why are you the right person to listen to them and try to unify this divided party?
It's because it's what I've always done. I grew up in municipal politics, of course, in Parry Sound, Muskoka. Town of Huntsville, I was the mayor most recently before going to federal politics, and that's what leadership is. It's about engaging and working with and empowering the team around you to achieve great things. And we need to be united as a movement, as a caucus. And until we can do that, I don't think Canadians will trust us.
Screaming is an interesting word. Who is screaming at them, or why do they feel like they're being screamed at?
Well, I think that the point about screaming was a little more related to the way this leadership campaign has been going on. I think that it's important for Conservatives to present a principled Conservative message and deliver it in a way that's not fanning the flames, I guess, of the anger and the frustration that many Canadians feel. I get that people are frustrated, but just yelling and arguing and calling your opponent's names in a leadership race doesn't actually present any solutions to problems, and that's what Canadians are looking for.
So you've explained part of why that you are seeking leadership is what you saw happening in politics during the Freedom Convoy and the divisions that exposed in our political system. And you describe Canadian politics as having an anger problem. Is it anger, or are people just frustrated? Well,
I think our political system has been designed to win, period. Mm-hmm. Our political operatives in both parties.
That's the name of the game. You got to win to...
But it's not a zero-sum game. This is my point. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not winning at all costs or at any cost. I think that we need leadership that actually calls this country together, not finds the divisions and the disagreements among us to wedge Canadians. So, I think the Liberals are happy to, demonize Albertans because they want to win votes in downtown Toronto. And I think that, Conservatives are often dismissive of the concerns of people that live in big urban centres because they want to protect their rural base. There's a lot more that unites us than divides us.
I like your message. I think it sounds good, but you and I both know politics is dirty, and political strategy means putting the pressure on divisions because it creates a win. And if the name of the game is to win, how do you hold both of those things at the same time?
Well, I'll give you an example. Firearms is a great example. We're having great debates right now about firearms in this country. There's an awful lot of folks in the Conservatives' rural base that disagree with absolutely everything that the Liberals are doing on firearms. And I happen to be one of them that think that the Liberals are actually not doing anything constructive to reduce the amount of gun violence that's going on in our large cities. But as Conservatives, we can't just sort of say that the Liberals are dumb, or that people that are living in cities and afraid of gun violence are dumb as well. We need to address the issues and also protect the freedoms and the rights of law-abiding firearms owners. So to me, it's about messaging and not letting the political operatives take over and try to create those wedge issues. We need to see each other as Canadians, and we need to address the concerns that all Canadians have, whether they live in cities or rural areas, east versus west. I think I can do that. I know I can do that, and I'm hell-bent to try.
Okay, I want to talk to you about something that's caused a lot of division in this country. That's Quebec's controversial secularism law, Bill 21. Yeah. You've called it discriminatory and wrong. You say it should be repealed. That's the strongest language, by the way, I've heard from anybody who is seeking leadership. The law has a lot of support in Quebec, as you know, and we see what happens when politicians have spoken out against it. They lose seats. You need the seats in Quebec to win. So are you not concerned that speaking this strongly about Bill 21 will lose you support in Quebec?
No, I'm not concerned about it. Because the way I speak about these issues is I make a strong point about it. It's a principled message. I think it's not just principally conservative. It's principally Canadian. The fundamental freedoms that we enjoy in this country are guaranteed to people in all parts of this country. And I think it's important for us to speak out against Bill 21 because I think it is wrong. And I think that the vast majority of Canadians think it's wrong. And far too often, politicians are happy just to maybe not talk about an issue because it might cost them votes. I think Canadians are ready for politicians to actually stand up on principle, not be divisive or angry or nasty about it, but to just be honest with each other, and I think we would all agree it's wrong.
I think Canada wants to hear what actually is the Conservative Party, because there are those who believe that it includes members that are further right, and they say, I can't put my vote. I'm frustrated with the Liberals, but I don't want to put my vote there.
Right.
Is there not some strategy in saying we're going to hive that portion off, and we're going to scoop up those lost votes in the centre? Does that work?
No, I think that the message for all Conservatives and all Canadians is that the Conservative Party, they keep using this expression, the big tent. There are lots of different perspectives within the Conservative movement, as there are with the left as well. I mean, I think that people don't think that the NDP or even the Liberals are, ideologically.
But they don't have the same branding problem that the Conservatives have.
No, they don't. But part of the reason for that, I think, is because Conservatives, we tend to fight amongst each other. And this is my point about unity. Unity isn't uniformity. I don't agree with an awful lot of members of my caucus on some of the votes we've had, and yet we still have great discussions and debate, and we have great relationships because as a movement and as a caucus, we need to listen to each other. We're not always going to agree, but we need to listen and respect each other and find the common ground that we do have, and then focus on that, build a platform and a common message based on that common ground and what does unite us, and then present it in a really respectful way. That's the only way we're going to build the trust that we need to build the trust in places like the GTA and the Lower Mainland of BC.
Scott Aitchison, great to meet you in person. Thanks again for coming in.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.